Right then, alright. My name's Robert Asker, and what I'm about to talk about, I think you will have heard. This has largely gone unreported by any news channels, which is quite amazing, considering what we're about to discuss. But firstly, can you guess where these are made? If you said China, you're right. In fact, China makes, or used to make, about 27 million of these every year. Annual production of 27 million of these, and out of that about 800,000 make their way to Australia to meet our ever increasing domestic demand for bicycle helmets. In fact, Australia has become so dependent on this international supply chain that every single bicycle helmet on the head of every single cyclist in Australia is an import. There are no exceptions, none whatsoever. Australia has no production capacity to build bicycle helmets whatsoever, and yet they're mandated by law. So obviously we're 100% reliant on an international supply chain for the production and distribution and import of these bicycle helmets to get these lids onto the heads of the kids and the loved ones. Now what would happen? What would happen if this international supply chain was broken or disrupted? All of a sudden, just happened. What would happen? Well, it has happened. June the 1st, 2020, China announced the adoption of a domestic bicycle helmet law. It's enforceable over there by fines, same as Australia, meaning China now needs to ramp up its domestic bicycle helmet production to a mind-boggling 200 million units a year on top of the 27 million units it was already flat out producing for the rest of the world. In fact, if you put these end to end, they'll go around the earth 1.5 times. That makes Chinese bicycle helmet industry an $8 billion industry. But what do you do if you're China? And there's not a snowflake's chance in hell that you can meet your own new domestic demand for the production of bicycle helmets. I mean, you were already flat out producing 27 million lids before. Well, the answer's simple. You cancel international orders. I mean, your market is now 8 times larger than the international market you used to have. You don't need the rest of the world. You don't need Australia. So what does this mean for Australia? Well, as existing stockpiles diminish, and they're starting to diminish, these guys, including our Cyclevision brand, are going to get harder and harder to find. And when you do find them, they're going to get more expensive when you do. What do we plan to do about it? We're Australians, we don't take this sort of stuff laying down. We're not going to let China dictate terms to us. Cyclevision has set up a sister company called NQX. And NQX is going to make bicycle helmets to meet our domestic market requirement. However, we're not going to use archaic Chinese Fordist steam-driven era factories to produce helmets out of mind-bogglingly numbers of styrofoam ingots. Instead, we're going to make our range of bicycle helmets using digital manufacturing processes in advanced 3D printers. The technology is there. That's how we're going to meet our demand. We care for the environment. Australians, we care for the environment. Ask the kids. It's astounding how much they care for the environment. So NQX, we need to care. We care. And we're rightly concerned that China, on the back of their announcement to make 200 million of these ingots, that's 40,000 tonnes of additional styrofoam ingots that go into landfill every year, and as we know, these things do not break down for 500 years. That was a bit dramatic. Instead, what are we going to do? We're going to make ours out of 100% plant-based materials. In fact, we've got a use-by date stamped on our helmets because this will go back to be used as fertiliser on grandma's roses. I mean, that's how much impact this is going to have on the environment. Plant-based materials that can be used as fertiliser, and we can make bike helmets out of them. And that is all because we're adopting 4.0 industry technologies and additive manufacturing to make our bicycle helmets. It's an environmentally responsible approach to correct a domestic and worldwide problem. And you can be part of the solution. I mean, with syndication in each state and each territory, we can produce these bicycle helmets anywhere, in any additive machines. We don't need to transport them all around the world anymore. So less pollution, less mucking around. And NQX need your help. We need an investment of $2.5 million, and we're prepared to forfeit up to 50% of our company to ensure that the onshore production of this absolutely essential commodity is achieved. I mean, NQX, our business model forecasts revenue in excess of $2 million in its first year of production. So this is an opportunity to drive a stake into the market in Australia as the first and most environmentally responsible bicycle helmet ever conceived. Thank you for your time. My name is Robert Asker. I hope you are like me and seeing the benefit and the problem and the solution all in one little video. Thank you very much. Now, did that work?